I left that restaurant 3 nights ago and haven't returned to our apartment since. My phone shows 247 missed calls, and I'm not picking up any of them. Let me rewind to give you the full context of why I'm done. Tara and I have been married for 4 years. We met when I was wrapping up my degree, juggling 2 jobs to avoid student loans. She worked retail back then. She seemed grounded, admired my drive and work ethic. Her family, however, always saw me as beneath her. Her sister, Nadia, made it clear from the start that Tara could do better, that I didn't come from the right social class or wealth like their friends' spouses. Tara told me to brush it off, insisting she didn't care about their opinions. Turns out, she cared more than she admitted. I've been steadily advancing in my career over the years. I'm not wealthy, but we're comfortable, nice apartment, bills covered, a yearly vacation. Yet it was never enough for her. The last 2 years, she started drawing comparisons. Her friend Bethany's husband drives a high-end SUV and sports designer watches. Another friend's spouse bought a yacht. Tara began dropping remarks about how we should have fancier things. Why wasn't I earning more? When would I land a serious promotion? For her birthday, I saved up for a thoughtful gift, a delicate bracelet with small gemstones tailored to her taste. I was proud of it. I planned a special dinner at a restaurant she'd been eager to visit for months. Here's where it gets messy. At the dinner were Nadia, her best friend Piper, Bethany, and 2 coworkers. I stepped away to the restroom and on my way back, overheard Tara's voice through a slightly ajar door to the women's bathroom. She was venting about how tired she was of pretending I was enough for her, how she envied Bethany's husband's success and lifestyle, wondering what her life could have been if she'd chosen differently. Nadia laughed, saying, "You settled too low and we all saw it coming." Someone asked why she stayed with me. Tara said she kept hoping I'd rise to the occasion and become someone worth keeping. I stood there, hearing my wife admit our marriage was her waiting for me to transform into someone else. Piper mentioned recording the gift opening because they'd already decided my gift would be a letdown. They planned to mock me, it wasn't spontaneous. I returned to the table, played it cool, ordered another drink, and made small talk, all while knowing what they thought of me. When it was time for Tara to open my gift, I handed her the small wrapped box. She put on an act of excitement, but I could see through it now. She unwrapped it, saw the bracelet, and her expression soured. "Oh, look, another bargain bin special," she said, holding it up. "This is what you get for marrying a failure who thinks ambition covers the bills." The table went silent for a moment before erupting in laughter. Nadia quipped that it was what Tara deserved for her choices. Piper was filming, narrating like it was a reality show about settling for less. Bethany remarked that her husband would never give such a gift. One of Tara's coworkers suggested she pawn the bracelet to afford groceries since I apparently couldn't provide. Tara waved the bracelet like it was trash, saying, $20 of pure letdown, just like our marriage." They all roared with laughter, piling on jokes about my job, my clothes, our apartment. I smiled, set my drink down, leaned toward Tara and whispered, "Happy birthday." Then I grabbed my jacket and walked out. No scene, no sprint, just gone. Tara called after me, but I kept going. I got in my car and drove. Here's what Tara doesn't know. The apartment. It's in my name only. I signed the lease before we married and never added her. She has no legal claim, the car she drives. It's mine, too, registered and paid for by me. Our bank accounts? We share one for daily expenses, but my real savings are in a separate account she doesn't know about. I grew up with nothing and learned to protect myself. When we married, I kept certain things separate just in case. That case is now. I stayed at my friend Aaron's place that night, crashing on his couch. Friday morning, I called the apartment complex, explained I was separating, and paid to have the locks changed for security. It was done by afternoon while Tara was at work. I went to the apartment, packed my essentials, documents, laptop, clothes, and left the furniture. I transferred the utilities to her name, effective immediately. By Friday evening, Tara came home to find her key useless. Her texts started pouring in, frantic at first, asking where I was, what I'd done, why the locks were changed. She called it crazy, said I was overreacting, that the dinner was just a joke. Nadia texted, accusing me of punishing Tara for being honest. Tara's mom called, leaving a voicemail calling me immature and cruel, saying Tara was devastated and I needed to come home to fix things. Fix things? They planned to humiliate me on camera. Aaron suggested I at least talk to Tara once to clarify next steps, but why should I? She and her circle made it clear I'm not enough. They wanted me to feel inadequate, so now they can face the fallout of me walking away. The texts kept coming. Peggy sent a long message saying I ruined Tara's birthday and made things awkward. Nadia called me selfish, proving her family's long-held view of me. Not one of them apologized. They all acted like I was wrong for leaving instead of them being wrong for tearing me down at a dinner meant to be special. I haven't told Tara about my separate savings, the car's registration, or how I've been safeguarding myself while she thought she had me pegged. She thinks I'll cool off and return. She has no clue what's coming. Update 1: It's been 5 days since I left the restaurant, and things have spiraled. For those wondering if I'd follow through, I am. Tara and her family are fighting back, and their nerve is unreal. Monday morning at work, I hoped for a break from the drama. No such luck. Around 11 a.m., the front desk called, saying my wife was in the lobby demanding to see me. I told them I wasn't available and asked them to escort her out. 10 minutes later, my boss approached, looking uneasy, saying there was a disruption I needed to handle. In the lobby, Tara and Nadia stood, both looking exhausted. Tara's eyes were swollen. Nadia looked furious. Tara launched into how I'd abandoned her, locked her out, and cut off her access to everything. She said she'd been staying with Nadia since Friday, and it was humiliating. I let her talk, knowing I'd done all this intentionally. Nadia called me vindictive, saying Tara had every right to her home and belongings. I clarified it's not her home. It's my apartment, my name on the lease. Tara went pale. She hadn't realized she wasn't on the paperwork after 3 years. She switched to saying she loved me, that the dinner comments were just venting, that everyone gripes about their spouse sometimes. I told her venting is private, not a planned public takedown on camera. Nadia called me dramatic, saying it was just friends joking, and I needed to handle criticism maturely. I asked why Piper was filming, why they'd planned to mock my gift. Nadia had no response. The receptionist was eyeing us nervously. We were causing a scene. I told Tara to leave and we'd talk later. She refused, demanding a key and access to her things. I said I'd arrange a time for her to collect her belongings, but no key. She cried harder, asking how I could be so harsh after 4 years. Then her mom arrived, escalating everything. She stormed in, yelling in the lobby that I was ruining her daughter over nothing, that Tara was having panic attacks because of me, that I was childish for repaying Tara's patience by leaving her homeless. I stayed calm, explaining Tara wasn't homeless. She had until month's end to find a new place since I wasn't renewing the lease. Her mom looked confused, so I repeated, "The lease is mine alone, and I'm ending it in 3 weeks. The apartment won't be available to anyone." Their faces showed they hadn't grasped the full situation. Tara was losing the apartment permanently, and only I could deal with the landlord. Nadia claimed it was illegal. I showed her the lease on my phone, my name only. Her mom demanded to know where Tara would live. I said that wasn't my problem. Security stepped in as her mom's voice rose, and I returned upstairs. My boss called me in asking if I was okay. I gave him the short version. He was supportive but said to keep personal issues out of work. Fair enough. The texts that followed were wild. Tara saying I was ruining her life, her mom threatening legal action over tenant rights, Nadia hurling insults. None apologized for the dinner. Tuesday, I texted Tara that she could collect her belongings Wednesday at 6 p.m. She asked if we could talk then. I said only to get her stuff. She asked why I was doing this. I sent a screenshot of her text to Nadia from a month ago, complaining about my basic car compared to Bethany's husband's luxury SUV. She called immediately. I didn't answer. I sent another screenshot, her telling Piper she wished she'd married someone with better prospects. Then another, her and Nadia discussing how I'd never give her the life she wanted. I'd been collecting these for a year, ever since her comments about other men's success became too frequent. She stopped replying. Wednesday, she arrived with Nadia and Bethany. I'd packed her things, clothes, toiletries, shoes, books, her decor into boxes and bags in the living room. She saw them and broke down, asking why I was doing this. I told her to take her stuff and go. She tried reminiscing about our time in the apartment. Move-in night, holidays, asking if I'd throw away 4 years over one bad night. I said it wasn't one night. It was years of her looking down on me, finally said out loud. Bethany spoke up, saying Tara was stressed and didn't mean it. I asked Bethany if she thought her husband was more successful than me. She dodged, saying she didn't want to get involved. I pointed out she was involved, laughing at the dinner. She had no reply. Nadia loaded the car while Tara begged me to reconsider. She asked about the car. I said it's mine and she could buy her own. She said she had no savings. I said that's her issue. She asked about our joint account. I told her I'd withdraw my share and close my access, leaving her the $800 in there. She asked how she'd pay rent elsewhere. I said she had a job she'd manage. She collapsed, saying I was trying to ruin her, leaving her with nothing. I corrected her. I was leaving her as the disappointment she called me, letting her feel what it's like to be not enough. They left around 8 p.m. I changed the locks again that night, just in case. Thursday, Tara's dad called. He'd been distant our whole marriage, but now wanted me to help his daughter because she's family. I asked where he was when his wife and Nadia told Tara I wasn't good enough. He said families are complex. I said so is marriage, and I was done complicating mine. He tried saying marriage takes work, but I cut him off, saying Tara gave up every time she compared me to other men. He had little to say after that. Now it's Friday. Tara's staying with Nadia, but it's tense. Nadia's place is small, and she doesn't want a long-term roommate. Her mom's pushing Nadia to help Tara find a place, but deposits and last month's rent are out of Tara's reach. Tara asked if she could stay in the apartment temporarily, offering to pay rent herself. I asked how, since she had no savings. She said she'd figure it out. I said no. She called me cruel. I reminded her she called my gift $20 of pure letdown. Why would that guy help her now? The lease ends in 2.5 weeks, and I've got a new place lined up, smaller, cheaper, just for me. Tara's running out of time, her family's out of patience, and I'm out of reasons to care. Update 2, it's been 12 days since I left the restaurant, 1 week until the lease ends. Things have escalated in ways I didn't fully expect, but probably should have. Tara's getting desperate, her family's unraveling, and our mutual friends are picking sides. Saturday, I ran into Owen and Derek at the grocery store. Guys, Tara and I did game nights and concerts with as couples. Owen cornered me, asking why Tara was blowing up his wife Blair's phone with sob stories about me abandoning her over a small fight. Tara claimed I locked her out, tossed her stuff in the hall, drained our account, and left her homeless. Blair was concerned until she pressed Tara, and the story kept shifting. A fight, a joke, or me plotting to leave for months using the dinner as an excuse. Derek said his girlfriend got similar messages from Nadia, accusing me of financial abuse and trying to make Tara homeless. I showed them the video Piper posted on Instagram before deleting it. I'd saved it. They watched Tara call my gift bargain bin trash, me a failure who thinks ambition pays rent, and the table laughing as Piper narrated about settling. Owen was stunned, asking if this was the small fight. Derek asked if Tara knew I had the video. I said no, I'd been holding it as proof, along with months of her texts badmouthing me to Nadia, Piper, and Bethany about my job, car, and lifestyle. Derek was pissed, saying he and his girlfriend almost let Tara stay with them, but not anymore. Owen said Blair was rallying friends to help Tara move, but needed to see the video. I sent it to them, telling them to share it with anyone Tara was spinning her story to. Sunday, Tara texted, furious that I was sharing the video, saying I was ruining her friendships and twisting a private moment. I replied that Piper made it public by posting it, and I was just showing the truth since she was lying. She called repeatedly, I didn't answer. Her mom, dad, and Nadia left voicemails. Her mom accusing me of spreading lies, her dad threatening defamation lawsuits, Nadia calling me manipulative. But I wasn't lying, I was showing their own video. Monday, Tara's story reached my workplace. Someone in another department heard I was being unreasonable in a messy split. But the video spread, Blair shared it, and it reached coworkers. Tuesday, Tara showed up at Aaron's place, pushing past him to confront me about ruining her life, losing friends, and her family doubting her. I told her it was her fault for saying those things and planning the humiliation. She claimed the dinner wasn't planned, just got out of hand. I reminded her I heard Piper plan to film it. She had no response, just begged for help finding a place. I said that wasn't my problem. Nadia stormed in, yelling that I was heartless, that Tara was family. I pointed out she'd called my gift garbage, so maybe she knew how it felt now. I asked Nadia when she decided I wasn't good enough for Tara, day 1 or post-wedding. I brought up her restaurant comment about Tara marrying down. She got defensive, saying her retail job was different. I said she had no right to judge me while stagnating in her own career. Tara called me mean. I said I was honest, something she struggled with. Aaron told them to leave. Tara said she'd been trying to make me understand, but I was too cold. I said she'd been cold for a year, pretending while trashing me. They left. Wednesday, Bethany texted, asking me to help Tara find a place. I sent her Tara's texts about regretting me. She stopped replying. Thursday, Tara's dad called, saying I was too harsh, that Tara had nowhere to go. I asked if he knew his wife and Nadia fueled Tara's view of me as lesser. He dodged, saying it wasn't fair. I told him the lease ends in 3 days, Tara's on her own. He tried to argue, I hung up. It's Thursday night. Tara's scrambling for apartments but can't afford deposits, and her credit's weak since I covered most bills while she spent on appearances. She asked me to co-sign a lease. I refused. Her mom said Tara might move in with them temporarily, but their place is small. I said the lease is done. Tara's facing no home, no car, and a crumbling support system. I'm moving to my new place Monday, a fresh start. Saturday, I'm taking the car back. Tara's learning what disappointment really feels like. Final update, it's been 3 weeks since I left that restaurant, and I'm writing this from my new apartment, free of regrets. The past few days have been chaos for Tara and her family, and I'll lay it all out for those who have followed this story. Saturday, I went to retrieve the car. I texted Tara Friday, saying to leave the keys in the mailbox by 10 a.m. She asked how she'd manage without it. I said public transit or rideshares, her problem. She said she needed it for work. I reminded her it's my car, my payments. She asked for time to save for her own. I said no. Saturday, she texted at 9 a.m. saying she couldn't make it by 10 from Nadia's. I said if the car wasn't there, I'd report it stolen. She called repeatedly. I ignored her. At 9:47, she pulled into the lot with Nadia trailing. Tara tried to hand me the keys and talk, but I waited by the mailbox until she dropped them in, then drove off as she yelled after me. That car was her last tether to stability. No apartment, no savings, all spent on an image she couldn't sustain. Sunday, the lease ended. I'd moved my stuff out earlier, did a final walkthrough with the landlord, returned my keys, and got my deposit back. He asked about Tara's keys. I said we were separated and she had no claim. Around noon, Tara arrived with 2 suitcases looking broken. She tried to enter, but the landlord stopped her, saying the lease was over. She asked me where she'd go. I said it wasn't my concern. She cried, saying she'd applied to places but couldn't afford deposits or provide references. The landlord left awkwardly, and Tara grabbed my arm, pleading. She had nowhere to go, her parents' place was too small, Nadia was fed up, and her friends weren't helping. I asked where Piper was, her buddy from the dinner. Tara said Piper ghosted her after the video spread. I told her to figure it out. She asked how I could be so cold after 4 years. I said I'd spent a year preparing for this, keeping the lease, car, and savings in my name, knowing she'd eventually show her true colors. She asked what I meant by preparing. I told her I'd seen her texts for months, her complaints about my job, car, and life, her family's view that I was beneath her, and the restaurant was just her saying it out loud. She tried saying she didn't mean it, just venting. I said she meant every word, and I'd planned to walk away cleanly when she finally crossed the line. Nadia arrived, yelling that I was destroying Tara, that her mental health was crumbling. I said that wasn't my responsibility. Nadia called me heartless. I reminded her she'd said Tara married down. I said she'd won, Tara treated me as disposable, and now Nadia could handle the fallout. Tara got in Nadia's car and they left. Sunday night, my phone blew up, calls from Tara's parents, Nadia, and unknown numbers. Voicemail said Tara had a panic attack, nearly went to the hospital, was up all night crying. I deleted them. Monday, I moved into my new place, smaller, private, nobody knows where. Utilities, work address, everything updated. Tara's dad got through, saying Tara was falling apart, that I'd broken my vows. I said I vowed to love the woman I thought I married, not one who spent years wishing I was someone else. He said I was going too far, leaving Tara with nothing. I said she had a job and could manage like I did with no family money. He tried to argue, I hung up. Tuesday, Tara tried my workplace again. Security stopped her. I said not to let her up. She waited 3 hours in the parking lot, blocking my car, saying she'd lost everything, housing, transport, friends. She asked for help with a lease or deposit. I asked why I'd help someone who regretted me for years. She admitted her mistakes, said she'd work on things. I asked if she wanted me or just stability. She couldn't answer, just cried. I drove away. Wednesday, Tara's mom called, saying I'd taught Tara that promises mean nothing. I asked if she'd taught Tara to always look for a better husband. I listed her comments over the years. My job wasn't enough, my lifestyle wasn't enough. She denied it. I reminded her of specific moments. She said she just wanted the best for Tara. I said she'd taught Tara to value money over people, and I was done pretending. She asked what Tara would do. I said she's 29 with a job, she'd figure it out. She hung up. Thursday, Tara sent a long text, admitting she'd let insecurities ruin our marriage, asking for a chance to prove herself. I didn't reply. Friday, Piper messaged, apologizing for filming, claiming she got caught up. I saw she'd unfriended Tara and blocked her without responding. It's Friday night, 3 weeks later. Tara's with her parents in their cramped house. It's not going well. Her dad's frustrated, her mom's critical, Nadia's avoiding her. Tara's looking at shared rentals, all she can afford. She's bussing to work, eating into her money, and can't get a car loan. Her friends, Owen and Derek's partners, Bethany, Piper, are done with her. Her coworkers are staying neutral. I spent 4 years as someone's letdown compared to richer men, judged for not being enough. I'm done with it. Some say I went too far, that I should have helped Tara transition. But I gave her 4 years while she decided I wasn't enough, all while I paid the bills and built a life she mocked. She wanted to know what disappointment felt like. Now she does. I saw Tara one last time yesterday at the gym. She was waiting by my car, looking drained, saying she'd hoped to catch me since I wasn't answering. She wanted to talk. I said we were done. She admitted she'd taken me for granted, treated me as replaceable. I said she'd known that all along but thought I'd stay anyway. She asked why I didn't confront her sooner. I said I wanted to see if she'd stop, if she'd value what we had. She didn't, just escalated to public humiliation. She apologized, said she'd do anything to fix it. I said there was nothing to fix. I didn't want a wife who wished I was someone else. She asked what she'd do. I said figure it out like I always had. She cried as I walked away. That's the end. No reconciliation, no second chances, no helping her rebuild. She made her choices, I made mine. I protected myself years ago, keeping things separate, knowing she wasn't fully in. When she showed it at that dinner, I was ready. People ask if I feel bad. I don't. I feel free from judgment, from comparisons, from a marriage where I was never enough. Tara wanted $20 of pure letdown. She got a lifetime of it.